Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Currently looking at wildfire conditions on three continents: Australia, South America, and between Bolivia and Brazil. If there's time, because I know there's going to be a lot of cloud obstruction when it comes to South America, so we might be able to see something, but I'll save that for last. As of right now, we're looking at some pretty heavy air in northwest Nigeria where we spotted fires previously. Probably related. Also, looks like there's some activity in Ghana. I am Nigeria is seeing some uptick in fires for sure. Very industrialized country, Nigeria. Nigeria, country of over 230 million people. Now let's check drought. Okay, Sudan, Chad. Zambia and Mozambique as well. These areas that we've seen fires within the last few months. So, nothing like what we were seeing here. Nigeria. Let's start with Western Australia. Got the latest scans from the 12th. I use false color to be able to see the difference between previously burned land like this. I don't see any live fires in this area, but a lot of burned area and possible smoldering. Not a lot of water, not a lot of precipitation in that the Western Australia, Western Australia side. Got it. Let's come down here to these bands here. Storms down there. Nothing too dramatic so far. There before. Possible location for recent wildfire. Let's make a time lapse. Let's make a time lapse so then see if it was a fire recently. Might have been. This could be drought, but it looks like a burn. But this could be just a relatively low bushfire. I don't see the vegetation changing so dramatically over a day without it being fire related in this area. You can see previous burns. Oh, you know what? I don't have my chroma up. Sorry. Be drawing on the screen. Here we go. You can see all here is these previous burns, probably within the last season. Then it picks up right where it looks like it left off. Not a lot of fires. These bands that came up to the east coast, there's so much rain. Good for Australia. They desperately needed rain before. Now it's rain on top of burn scars and already saturated water tables. You might see a lot of flash flooding. Besides that, it's looking okay. No, that's new. So we have some fires here. Here. Even all of this right here. Make a time lapse of it and see how this fire moved. See. Right here. A little bit more. Fire starts in the southeast corner. Play that again. Take out the so it starts down here. 17th. Seventh. Next frame. 12th. That's from 40 kilometers. This fire ran in different directions and is currently burning a big chunk of Queensland right there. Let me get rid of these. You see how, see if we can see the smoke. Yep. You can see the smoke. Clouds right here, but this is smoke. use true color for smoke and then false color for separating different stages of scorched earth. So you have previously burned areas that is going to be more of a yellowish color, and that's going to be an indicator of recent wildfire activity. And then we have actual fire that's actually burning across the land, as well as kicking up a lot of smoke. It's a pretty significant fire. And it's not just one fire. That's why right now in Australia, naming fires doesn't really make sense, because these things are coming out straight and out. They just move down 40 kilometers, and the width of it starts picking up as it burns more fuel, it burns hotter, more smoke covers the fires, giving it more of a thermal leg up, say. The smoke, the fire is always going to follow the smoke, is always going to go to the path of least resistance, and smoke is always going to follow other smoke. Smoke doesn't have to move. Smoke is moved, then smoke follows. Pretty big bushfire right there. Nothing too terrible. More fires up here. At Queensland, the further north we go, actually closer to the storm, we're actually seeing an increase of wildfire behavior. Right now we are actually in the Northern Territory, so the fires that we were looking at are in the Northern Territory. I don't know how I got turned around. I might have dragged the map too hard and wound up a little further west than I thought I was. But at least we saw some fires in Northern Territory. Now, I will make sure we'll be in the Queensland side. I don't remember if I said I was in Queensland or Western Australia. Pretty sure I said I was in Western Australia and I was actually in Northern Territory. It's okay. I zoom out and then everybody can see it was most certainly Northern Territory. Now we're getting over here in Queensland. It's gonna be a lot greener, a lot more fuel that I can burn. Some airport. Looks strange. This is a pretty significant burn. Time lapse necessary so we can see it from here. A lot of patchy burns all across these roads. Got some increased activity in Queensland for sure. This is more than I expected, given how much rain is falling. Fire moves west. Another fire. Color for smoke. okay. Steady increase the further closer we get to Tropical Cyclone Jasper. It's still a tropical cyclone last I looked, and not a tropical disturbance yet. I believe it's just going to just spread water all over, just precipitation all over the place when it gets into the Gulf. It's going to be torn apart. Gulf of Carpentaria. Oh, let's see. Fire. Lots of fire. Some pretty deep-seated looking fire here on the lower right-hand side. Oh, that's impressive. Go do a time lapse of this area. It looks ripped. There's some pretty big fire, not big fires, but quite a lot of them. And they're pretty close together. You show up, or the pattern's gonna make them blank. Yeah. A lot of scorched earth, but also seeing a lot of spotty little fires. Start seeing this take hold. The curvature of the arms of the spiraling tropical cyclone that's about to meet its fate on the Earth. The cyclones don't like going on land, just having fun in the ocean, being all everywhere that you want without having to heave yourself up and just break yourself up into a million pieces. Instead of just losing spiral arm, no. So it's not a category 2, it is a category 1 or less time it reaches air. Airs. I just saw that. That is Oh. Okay, so first we have kind of hot fires happening here, smoldering. It's also we're getting this fire. Hmm. We time lapse this area. Look at that other fire. That looks massive. Or just a lot of fires all at once. Now there is a lot of there's just nothing and then fire. Take a look at true color. Yeah, that's a lot of smoke. That's a complex of wildfires. This is not just one, this is a literally wall of fire. Probably one of the biggest fires I've seen so far today. Damn. Some really, really large fires happening here. The more we get into the northern peninsula of Queensland, the worse these fires look, because you go here from the 7th to 12th. It's huge. Massive. Go out further. Different time lapse. Massive. Pretty big fires happening here. It's all just within the day. Cloud coverage, but there are some real nasty fires happening underneath the sky. Look at all that smoke. All that smoke. That's so much smoke. I saw wildfire smoke too. It's a pretty big plume of smoke, I tell you. That the fire can run with the smoke. Oh my god, okay, so true color. Get that. Look at these blazes here. Absolutely monstrous amount of fires, hundreds of fires burning that we're seeing. no sense in doing a time lapse here since we know all this activity is within the last day or so. Let me make a time lapse because this is gnarly. Really, really impressive fires, especially this guy right here. Very severe fires burning in Queensland. Many. Hopefully, as this storm moves further west over from Cairns to the Gulf, as it heads over, transitions ocean, land to sea. The storm would be obliterated by them. But it should give this area a lot of much needed precipitation that is currently seeing an outbreak of wildfires. We saw bushfires in Northern Territory, now we're seeing legit wildfires burning in northern Queensland, Australia. Yeah. Pretty deep-seated fires. They're going to be stubborn. But hopefully tropical cyclone Jasper here has just been reduced to a smidgen of itself. Smidgen. It was a lot larger whenever it was coming out of the Solomon Islands, bearing down as a Category 4. So it's just right in the same area where all those wildfires they were just looking at. So hopefully it's under the gun for a lot of rain and it puts these fires out. Now we are done looking at Australia. Let's go look over here. Looking in West Australia. Oops, sorry. West Africa. We were last looking at Senegal, which isn't in the scans for today. Don't want to go too far back. Got a lot to cover. A lot to go over and a lot to cover. And down to Burkina Faso. A lot of fires that have been happening here. There are a lot of fires in this area. This is Ghana, Africa, West Africa. Neighbor. One, two, three. A lot of fires. These are worse. Huge blazes. What's going on? Yeah, some pretty. Okay. Some terrible smoke coming off that. Okay. That is all the time I have for now. Not able to get into South America. As we can see here, there is plenty of West Africa to go around to look at. But on that note, please like and subscribe. It helps me out immensely. I will continue to look at conditions in West Africa. As of right now, it looks like they're under massive threat of wildfire that is just lumbering just all over the place. Fires, many, many large fires. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Thank you for watching.